You might not want to hear this, but I'm here to remind you that every thought, every conversation, and every scroll is an energetical transaction. You're either investing in your future reality or you're spending your energy on what keeps you stuck. The question is, are you broke energetically? So today we're going to talk about this topic. We're going to talk about energy and energy vampires. We're going to talk about the way that we transmit energy and what effect it has on us. And we're going to talk about how that same energy transmission keeps us stuck where we are without us even knowing about it. So it's going to be a deep talk today. You have to begin to understand that most people are being drained of their energy and they don't even realize it. They don't even realize that they're being used by energy vampires, and that is what has them stuck where they are. So this is something so important and so simple, but we don't recognize that it's happening every single moment of every single day. Energy is being drawn from us, and a lot of the times we're not getting energy back in. So people will say things like, "I'm so exhausted. I'm mentally drained. I don't know why I'm so mentally exhausted." They've gotten enough rest. They've done their meditation. They've, exercised. They've done everything they're supposed to be doing, but mentally they're just completely sunk dry. You may be a victim of energy vampires, and they're everywhere. They're in the media. They're at work. They're in the family. They're all over the place. And if you're not aware of it, you can be a victim of them eating your energy, literally. This is what happens within this realm that we live in. People have the capability of literally eating your energy. The Nag Hammadi scripts talk about these archons. And the Nag Hammadi script is this ancient text. You can get them on Amazon or wherever, but these are ancient texts from the Gnostics. And they talk about the fact that these beings exist, these archons behind the veil. And in some way, they kind of attach themselves to people and they create turmoil and angst within human civilization to create this frequency that they can actually eat. And they come through other people. So you have to understand first that in this dimension, we're living in an energetic matrix. Okay. So this matrix is a fractal holographic matrix of light. And what does a matrix run on? It runs off of energy. So energetically, we're all connected on this interconnected grid throughout the entire known universe, even throughout the multiverse. And because of that, everything that we do, everything we think, and everything we say directly affects something or someone else throughout the entire known universe. It's the butterfly effect. And your energy literally determines your ability to manifest, create, and even heal. And, people think that their time is the greatest asset, but your energy is what creates your reality. So time is malleable. Time can be made to be more efficient. And yes, time is an asset that you can't directly get back in this particular lifetime. However, energy is so much more important because it's about the energy and how you actually expend the energy, which is going to create what you're going to get back energetically, and if you're going to be drained or if you're going to magnify your energy and your powers. If if I'm putting out a frequency into the universe, and the universe is a mirror based on the law of attraction, then I'm going to put out a frequency. Now, this frequency of low energy or low vibration is going to go out, and the mirror of the universe is going to be held up, and it's going to come back at me like a boomerang. This low frequency energy is going to come back to drain me, to make me feel mentally exhausted, to hold me in my scarcity mindset, to hold me in my lack of abundance mindset, and to bring me so many hurdles and hoops I have to jump through. I'm going to be completely drained and completely distracted off my mission. Now, if I'm putting out energy into the universe that's based on high frequency, positivity, enlightenment, upliftment, service to others, unconditional love, high frequency vibrations, excitement, joy, enthusiasm, right? Motivation, inspiration. That's going to be held up as a mirror. And when that energy returns back to me, it's not coming to suck me dry. It's coming to magnify what I'm doing. It's coming to magnify who I am. It's coming to expand my horizons. That's the difference between energy that you put out that's going to reflect back and drain you, and energy that you put out that's going to come back and uplift you. This is where a lot of people don't realize their energy is being wasted. And in some cases, it's being slow, drip by drip by drip by drip. It's leaking, and there's energy leakage. If I have a electric cable and I put a copper wire inside of the insulation and I connect it to a power source and measure the amount of energy moving through that power cable to the other end, I'm not going to see 100% on the other end of energy output from where I plugged it into the wall or the source of power. Why? I'm going to lose energy along the line of that cable. Even though I insulated it, I'm going to lose energy. It's going to be lost in something called friction. Okay? That's the same way it works in real life. Now, if you replace that copper wire inside the insulation with gold, this is where the alchemy comes in, the alchemy of the mind. Realizing that you might be feeling drained because you're operating as a copper wire and the insulation is the universe. How about now switch that and you become a gold wire inside of that insulation? Gold will give you virtually 100% of the output on the other end from where you plugged it into the source. This is why gold is used in high technology. This is why gold is used in your electronic devices. This is why gold is used in radiation hardened microchips in space for exploration. In these in really dangerous environments, you have to use gold. Okay? If you alchemically convert yourself and realize that you are the gold, you are the gold source, you are the gold conduit. Okay? So now you're going to do everything you can to protect that gold. And by protecting it, it's going to talk about the way you think. That's the universe. So the way you think is going to affect the universe. The way you feel, the way you emote, right? And the way that you act, actions. The way that you speak, cymatics. All of those are going to come to directly affect who you are at your core, which is why you need to have the golden mind. Become the golden child. And when you become the golden child, the way you think, feel, speak, and act are going to be on the frequency of gold versus copper. Copper is, and we just get it. We just do half-ass. We just do a little something here or there. We just try to, I'm going to speak some trash against this person. I'm going to think badly about this person. I'm going to make poor actions and poor activity. I'm not going to have a good habit. I'm not going to have good rituals that are going to uplift me, help me get to the next level. I'm going to just flow through life like an NPC, like a non-player character. And whatever happens, happens. That's copper. Gold is I'm going to stay the course. Gold is I'm going to watch what I say and think. Gold is I'm going to follow through with proper action. Gold is I'm going to learn from my mistakes and do better the next time. That's the gold. That's the golden wire. So when the energy that you're connected to in this grid returns to you on this toroidal frequency, it's going to continue to make you grow and grow and grow. And you're going to become bigger and stronger and more powerful, consciously and spiritually, versus the copper wire. Most people are leaking energy without even realizing it because of drama. They're engaging in gossip, engaging in emotional reactivity all the time, where someone says something to them that just triggers them without them even realizing it. They're being tethered to a different version of themselves from a different timeline when they were younger. The past exists on a totally different timeline because the future is altering itself step by step as you go based on your decisions. Every decision you make creates a split in the timeline and you enter into a new potential future. The past is prologue, but it's there. But you're talking about a completely different timeline. So when you're being triggered, it's being tied to a timeline, tethered to a timeline that no longer exists in the past. It's a fractured previous timeline based on your conscious decisions and actions that move into the future. And so in that case, you're draining and leaking energy into a place that doesn't even exist anymore. Gossip, one of the biggest things going on right now in this third dimension, is an absolute and complete waste of your energy. First of all, spending the energy and time to research the gossip so you can become an expert at whatever that topic is. I want to know everything about Diddy. Okay, you spent countless hours on Diddy. You spent countless hours on Diddy documentaries. You spent countless hours on Diddy YouTube videos and countless hours on Diddy reels and clips and scrolls on the internet. So you know everything about Diddy, a man that didn't even get convicted of hardly anything. I'm not saying he's a great human being, but think about the amount of hours that some people spent on that topic for absolutely no reason whatsoever. They could have been spending that energy on themselves. They could have been spending that time on themselves. They could have been growing spiritually, consciously, and financially for themselves and their legacy versus spending countless amount of hours on something that they have no control over whatsoever. And for what? Every conversation is about that or whatever else is going on versus what's going on inside of themselves. Too many distractions. It's endless scrolling. Another problem where we're leaking is overthinking. Overthinking is a huge problem where we are overthinking every little tiny thing. Like everything has got to be overanalyzed, and we have to understand it from every single angle before we can act on it. That's an energy leak. You're using a copper wire. You're using a copper wire. You become the copper wire in that case, overthinking every little tiny thing, to the point where nothing gets done. Overthinking is, to me, it's so frustrating when I see it because I know what the person's capable of. I know what this person brings to the table potentially, but the overthinking has given them a lack of abundance mindset. You know, I do music and produce songs and appear on songs, and I'm not the greatest producer in the world, not even close. I am not the greatest artist in the world. I'm not the greatest rapper, singer, spoken word. I'm not. But I've done all of those things on albums that have been released. And I have music and record awards. I've been on Billboard. Why is that? But there are people that I know that have catalogs that make my catalog look like trash, that make my performance look like trash. I'm talking about real high level performers and producers and artists, but they have no songs in any distribution anywhere. And they have no awards, no recognition for what they've done. They just have hard drives stacked up to the ceiling with all this artistry on it that's just sitting there catching dust. Meanwhile, I'm getting thousands of dollars a month in royalties and recognition and awards, and nobody hardly even knows that I'm in the music business. But you see, when it comes to that area of my life, I don't have an energy leak. My energy is hyper focused in that area, and it's accomplishing its mission because I'm acting as a gold conduit. They're acting as a copper conduit. So the energy on the outside, on the end, all the overthinking that they're doing. Oh my God, what if people don't like this? And this particular part of the beat needs to be perfected. And they're perfecting this one song for 5 years. Now that particular style of music is played out. People have already moved on to the next thing. So now the music, because it wasn't even timeless to begin with, has just completely become outdated. The lyrics are outdated. Because why? Because the language that we use within the songs, a lot of the times, it becomes outdated because of the implications of some of the words and the slangs and the double entendres applied to a different time period. So all of a sudden, the song can be completely outdated, but still sound phenomenal. We call it old school. So we'll play an old school playlist because we like to hear it because we can reminisce and have nostalgia. But if a song comes out now that's from a different era that nobody ever heard before, it was never a hit. It's like this song is out of date. We don't want to hear this right now. It brings no nostalgia. It brings no connection to anything from that person's past. So it's not going to get played that much. So the point that I'm making is we have a lot of things that are energy leaking energy out of us without us even realizing it. Toxic connections, relationships that pull you out of alignment. That's another problem that we have. Relationships that will completely disconnect you from who you are and turn you from a gold conduit into a copper conduit. I've been a victim of that myself. It just happens. Don't be mad at yourself. Listen, I've done it several times in my lifetime. Thankfully, I've been able to recognize when these relationships were not suiting my higher purpose. They were not in alignment with who I truly was. And I was able to exit those relationships because they were pulling me away from who I truly was. They were taking me out of my alignment with abundance. So I'm not telling anyone to make a decision to remove people from their lives. I'm just saying to analyze what's going on and analyze the alignment. There may be a need to be an adjustment there, or there could be an energy leak there. I'm just saying to observe it. Okay. These are the things that are really affecting your everyday life in a way that you might not even realize it. You have to begin to audit your energy flow. You have to realize, where's my energy going? So if you get out your cell phone notepad or your tablet notepad or your computer notepad or a pen and paper, and just start off from the very beginning of your day, the moment that you open your eyes, okay, and then take an accountability of every single thing, step by step, by step, by step, by step, what you're doing energetically. From the moment you open your eyes to the moment that you're going to lay down and go back to sleep again. If you do this energy audit, you're going to find out and say to yourself, okay, who am I giving my power to that isn't aligned with my vision? So let's go through this list today of everything I did energetic. I kept an accurate accounting. Now you'll find places where, this didn't align with my vision. This took energy that was wasted, didn't need to be put out. This over here, I see, okay, wow. This situation, this conversation, this drained me, waste of energy. Over here, I wasted energy over here. You're going to be able to analyze this. And you're going to get data points as to where your energy is leaking. And you'll be able to know what thoughts and habits are consistently lowering my frequency because you'll see it. And now you have awareness. See, before you didn't have awareness in that area. And because you didn't have awareness, you were consistently reproducing those same habits and those same energy leaks were going out all over the place. And you didn't realize that you were being leaked. You were being drained of your energy where you could have taken that energy and you could have positioned it somewhere else in your life. And you could have seen an incredible result. I remember when I was younger, my friends and acquaintances used to always look at me like, man, how do you have all these nice cars? I'm talking about high school. I'm talking about just out of high school. I would go see them or meet up with them or run into them in places. I always had a pocket full of money. I always had a very nice car. I was the first person in my neighborhood to have a foreign car, which back then it was a big deal. Everyone had what we call hoopties, junkers. I had a brand new Lexus right out of high school. And my friends used to be like, man, I don't get it, man. How do you have all this money all the time? How are you living in these nice places? How do you have these nice cars all the time? And you don't sell drugs, you don't hang out, you don't go to clubs, you just have this money all the time. And you always look like you're operating at a high level. So, well, I'm not draining my energy on things that don't matter. Like, I'm not gonna hang out in the clubs all night, all the time. I'll go check it out here or there because you just got to get out and have a little bit of fun. But you guys are going all the time. You're going almost 4 days a week. That's an energy drain. You're smoking this plant all week long. And while you're doing it, you're relaxed. That's an energy drain. You think you're relaxed and saving energy. No, you're leaking energy because the time frame and the energy that's being put into that activity has not been channeled properly into improving your current situation. When you go to these places like happy hour and you're sitting at a bar spending $10 per drink, that's an energy drain because one, the time and the effort it takes to sit there is draining energy. And number two, the amount of money that you're spending on those drinks, money is nothing but an energy exchange. Money is only an energy exchange. It's a direct evidence of the exchange of energy. So there's an energy leak there. The money you're spending on your recreational smoking, energy leak. Remember one of my friends came to me and he said, Billy, man, you're so good with budgets and everything and managing money. Can you please just sit down with me and analyze my budget because I don't understand what's going on. I can't feed my family. My bills are behind and I just can't figure out where I'm messing up. I said, okay, let's sit down. Let me see all of your bills, all of your expenses. He lays them all out. I said, okay, now show me exactly how much money you're making. I need to know every single penny. Okay, he lays that out. And I'm going, I mean, you're not rich, but you should have X amount of dollars left over at the end of the month that you can use to build an emergency savings fund, and you should be able to make small investments and then build over time. I go, okay, show me now, what are your habits? I need to know everything you're doing energetically, besides what the bills are and besides what the income is, what you do for a living. What's going on in between that I can't see? And I found several small things, but then I found one big thing. His recreational smoking habit. When I took the recreational smoking habit money, the energy leak that he was putting into that, and the time, turns out he was spending about almost $1,000 worth of energy on that recreation. When I showed him where the energy leak was going and where the financial energy leak was going, he actually changed it. He listened to me. And because he changed it, he caught up on his bills. He got back on track financially, and he got back into doing what he loved, which was creating music and producing and actually putting it in distribution to make passive income. If they listen to me, they do well. If they don't listen, they crash and burn. This man listened to me. But you see, the energy leak was going into where? Recreational smoking. I'm not against smoking marijuana. I'm not against psychedelics. I'm not against any of that stuff. Matter of fact, it helps a lot of people. What I'm saying is everything within reason, everything within balance. If I go right now and bring 5 gallons of water and put them right here in front of me. Now, we know that the body is 70% water and that you can't live without water. Your body needs water to survive. But if I sit here right now and drink 5 gallons of water in front of you on this live camera, something interesting will happen. I will unalive myself right here. Why? Because too much water will actually unalive you. You can't drink that much water. It will dilute your blood and destroy your blood pressure, and you will actually unalive yourself. You'll neutralize yourself. Too much water, which we know water is phenomenal and we need it. We can't live without it. But too much of it, it's over. So everything within balance. It's important to understand that because a lot of people, they just don't get it. And they keep wanting to make excuses for themselves as to why this is going wrong and why this ain't working out and everything else. And they don't want to make any changes. They don't want to, quote unquote, sacrifice where the energy leak is going because they see it as a way to escape reality versus the real way to be free and escape the matrix is to hyper-focus your energy into things that are going to build you up on the inside, and then that manifests on the outside. Your reality is going to shift when energy is consciously directed, hyper-focused. When it's not hyper-focused in the right area, it leaks. And when it leaks, you're complaining about why things aren't working out in your favor, and you're blaming everyone on the outside except for yourself. Your outer world is only a mirror of your inner energy management. Right now, I'm sitting at a desk in one of my offices in my house. And when I look around on my desk, I can see that it's very organized. It's very clean. I know exactly what's on the desk. I can see the desk itself underneath, which means it's not cluttered. And when I look around this particular room, I can see that everything else around me, including my bookshelf and my little library behind me, is all completely organized. That is a direct reflection of my inner consciousness. It's a direct reflection of my inner self. If everything around you is in disarray, cluttered, garbage here, wrappers, old pizza boxes from last week, a piece of paper that fell on the ground or some kind of lint or something that fell down and you just keep stepping over it, never pick it up. Complete disarray and disjointed everywhere you look. That's a reflection of your inner space. The trip is to go to inner space and organize in here. When this is organized and structured properly and energetically aligned with who you want to be, then on the outside, that reflection will manifest. I can tell a lot about a person based on their appearance. I don't care if it's Louis Vuitton or if it's Kmart, doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter. I can tell by the appearance, not by the name brand. I can tell by the shoes, not by the name brand of the shoe. Are the shoelaces untied? Are the edges of the shoelaces, have they been walked on so much that they've been they're run down? Are the shoes bows tied evenly on both sides? I mean, it sounds stupid, but I analyze all of these things. It's telling me a lot about a person up here and inside of here. Are the clothes wrinkled? Are they clean? How does this person smell? Do they smell fresh and clean? It doesn't matter about cologne. I don't care about $500 cologne bottles. Do they have an odor? Or have they bathed? Can I smell groin scent, bacteria? That tells me a lot about a person up here, where their energy is leaking. I remember I got invited to this person's home. This person was the CEO and founder of a major facility. It was actually a mental health facility, believe it or not. I got invited to this person's home. As we pull up to this person's home, the first thing I notice is the yard hasn't been cut potentially in years. The front yard. The first thing a person sees about you is your curb appeal. It doesn't matter if it's a mansion or a mini home. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The yard is in complete disarray. Weeds everywhere. Grass chunks missing. Dead grass. Huge bundles of grass that have grown out of control. It looked like I was walking through the desert in Turkey. The house itself never been pressure cleaned. filthy everywhere, dust building up on all the windowsills and everything else. Immediately, I knew this person is suffering mentally and leaking energy. I go into the house, dust built up for decades, broken furniture, a water system that had the water jug on it, and where the water comes out, it's green because of mold. And I'm like, wow, this is a person running a mental health facility. You can learn a lot about a person based on what you see on the outside, and come to find out over time exactly what I thought. What I saw on the outside was exactly how that person was on the inside. It was a complete telltale sign of who they truly were at their core. Take an analysis of your surroundings. Take a real hard look at your surroundings. Take a real hard look at the people that you're around and their surroundings, because you're going to average out the 5 people that you're around. Begin to analyze more. Think deeper into what's going on and analyze it and see how it's affecting you, and if your energy is leaking in those directions, and also if you need some more inner work energetically, because that's what happens. When you're no longer distracted by chaos, when you have clarity, your true life begins to emerge. Your true self begins to reflect on the outside. Your real energy is being hyper-focused in areas of your life that are going to allow you to become the true version of the self that you want to be. You're going to manifest your true reality, not the illusion of scarcity and lack of abundance and disarray, right? All these things are coming to rob your energy and steal your energy away. It's part of the system designed to keep you locked down in the matrix, never really getting anywhere, never really going anywhere, never really finding out who you truly are. Don't let them win. Don't let the matrix win. Reclaim and redirect. Reclaim your energy from the past, from people that didn't deserve it. And this happens to all of us. I'm a person that has gone through this as well. Reclaim the energy from the past, from people that did not deserve it. They didn't deserve your energy. You have to learn how to draw a line in the sand and say no. Create real boundaries when it comes to your energy, because time will move by so fast, years will move by, and before you know it, you'll look around and realize years of your energy have been drained in the wrong direction, and you could have been so much further spiritually, consciously, abundantly, but because you were leaking in this one area, you lost opportunities for growth. You got to redirect that energy into your vision, redirect it into healing, redirect it into creation. Be creative. Your abundance comes from your creativity. Okay? Recreating the direction of where you want to go in life versus where you are now. Your highest timeline is where you want to direct and focus your energy. This reality that you can envision into the future that literally is the life and the timeline that you want to be on. You can manifest that if your energy is hyper-focused in the right place. And this is what we teach in the Forbidden Knowledge Academy, which is why I created the Forbidden Knowledge Academy. We have now over 630 incredible leaders in there. I don't call you students. I don't call you members. I don't call you, followers. We have over 630 in a week and a half, amazing leaders, hyper-focused in there. And in there, you have your tribe, and we hold each other accountable. We communicate with each other on a consistent basis. I'm in there talking to you, and you're talking to me. I'm going live and teaching all the time. And there's over 100 hours of pre-recorded modules of education in there on all different topics to help you become the best version of your higher self. We hold each other accountable in there. And in there, we also share our wins. and we get support from the team and we get support from the group, this is your real tribe. The people that you surround yourself with are the people that are going to average out who you become. So why not join a group where the people that you're going to be surrounded with virtually are all on the same frequency and vibration that you are, and all hyper-focusing their energy on becoming the best version of themselves, which is going to leak into your actual life. And then people are positive energy are leaking into you, and you're leaking into them positivity, which is going to magnify in the universe and bring back abundance versus bringing back low frequency problems, drama, trauma, and everything else and distractions. That's how you alchemically convert the energy. You magnify it and build it. You don't let it leak out and drain and go to complete waste. If you want to be a part of our amazing group, there's a link in the caption of this video, in the live chat, or in the bio. Click on that link and join the Forbidden Knowledge Academy immediately. Go there and watch the activity. This is the highest level of engagement I've ever seen on any platform, and I'm on dozens of platforms. If you want to be mentored by me in the Forbidden Knowledge Academy, click that link in the caption, the live chat, or the bio, and I'll see you in the academy. And we're going to start building and working together right now, today.